Once it not going all the way through, if you'll notice. So I haven't gone all the way through. Now I'm going to turn it around in between those little score marks I just made on the other side. And then we still have a full set-up shallot.
Looks the same as you do with the onion.
Yeah, it's just a tinier version of an onion. Yep.
A little sweeter.
Yeah, a little bit sweeter. But as far as how to dice, it's basically the same structure as an onion. But this is much easier. If you ever tried to dice an onion or chop an onion and get it all laid out on the cutting board, chopping away, cry all day long. This is quick and easy. You get a nice uniform dice.
Pasta pot.
Yep. Thank you. Okay. So we've got our mise en place all ready for that. Pasta still needs some more time. Whoop. Gonna start warming my pan over here. In French, saute means to
jump.
Thank you very much, Bob. Bob's been hanging out with me too long. But what we're looking for is when we go into a saute pan, we want to hear that sizzle. We want to see a little action. Not very often will you go into a cold saute pan. The only time I would go into a cold saute pan would be if I was cooking bacon or maybe rendering duck breast, fat off a duck breast, that type of thing. I'd start slow and then slowly, gradually build the heat. So I like to pre-warm my pan, and I'll show you a good way to test to see if your pan is ready or not once we get it warmed up. So we've got all our stuff set to go. I'm going to show you really quickly what we can do with these puff pastries.
So there's nothing in those. Those are just plain.
Those are just plain. Now what we'll do, take a little serrated knife, cut almost to the outside, and then knock the center down. So we've got like a little bowl. This one's kind of falling apart on me. But just take this serrated knife, and like I said, you can fill these with anything, cream of mushroom soup, spinach and fontina cheese, thousands of things. And that's what I try and, with the cooking school we're doing at the restaurant now, I try and impart to my, the folks who come and take the classes is, recipes, a lot of recipes are should just be outlines, just because I'm filling this with strawberries doesn't mean you have to fill them with strawberries. You can fill them with anything you want to. And just because I'm dealing with sauteed shrimp doesn't mean you can't take salmon and cut it into bite-sized pieces, or chicken or beef or anything for that matter. So we'll fill those later on with our strawberries. We'll make some fresh whipped cream to go with them.
Your cooking class, is it interactive?
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah. Well, folks don't necessarily cook, but I ask for volunteers every once in a while. But a little too al dente, we're going to give that a little bit more time. Okay, checking our pan to see if it's ready. A little bit of water, tip of your finger.
That's ready.
That's ready. That might even be a little too hot. I try and
don't burn the butterscotch.
Yep. Tell folks use all your senses. You can if you were paying attention, you could smell that puff pastry start to come up. You can almost, without even looking at this pan, you can tell how hot it is. Because the first time I put that water in there, everything was and it was gone. Whereas now is a little bit lower, you can hear it still evaporating, not evaporating, I guess evaporating. So use all your senses. Obviously we've got the shrimp here already cooked, so that's going to go in last minute. Last minute. All right.
It's not frozen, right? It's defrosted?
It is defrosted, yep. You could do it frozen if you wanted to, just add it a little bit sooner, sooner than you would if we've got all fresh cooked. I mean, that's really going to go in at the very last minute. Probably what I'm going to do is saute all my vegetables up with shallots and so on, turn them out, and then with what's sitting in that pan, use all those juices that are left in the pan, the little bits from the little brown bits from the vegetables, shallots and so on, make my sauce, and then once my sauce is made, we'll drop everything back into the sauce over the top of the pasta.
To heat the French, that's all.
Yep, just to heat the shrimp. So we've got our pasta coming off. Now what I would do in a case like this, since we've got a little time before our shrimp and so on is ready, just take a little bit of olive oil, sprinkle it in there, and toss it just to coat all the noodles to keep them from all sticking together.
You don't rinse the pasta in water.
Never rinse pasta in water, no, because what it does is it rinses off all the starches. And then when you make a sauce, if you've ever noticed, if a sauce isn't adhering to your pasta, that means you've rinsed it. You rinse off all the starches, and then this nice buttery sauce will slough right off. Okay, so we've got a nice warm pan, maybe too warm. I'm going to come off the heat with this a little bit. Sorry, I'm not used to this stove. You've got a fan, right?
Right up there.
Before I don't, oh great, I got it right here. I don't want to set off the smoke alarm. We smoked that a little bit, so okay, great. We've got it at a good temp right now. Zucchini, summer squash, tomatoes, shallots. One thing amateur chefs do at home also is they tend to move the pan around a lot, stir a lot, let the flame and the pan do its work. All right. I'm just going to shut that off since hopefully we're not going to burn anything from here on out. So this is what we're listening for. We're listening for nice crackle. Keep an eye on stuff, see if it's starting to brown around the edges. You'll notice how I work a saute pan. A lot of people feel that move is an up and down move, but you'll notice as I work it, it's front to back. You basically get your whatever product you have in your pan moving forward, and then stop it really short and let it flip back into the pan. I tell some of my students, go home if you want to practice that, get a saute pan and just put some dried beans or dry rice or whatever. That way you can't necessarily hurt yourself.
Make a mess.
Make a mess. If you've got to seed your lawn, go out with a saute pan, a bunch of grass seed, and practice it out there. So we're basically just going to let this soften. We're going to let these shallots brown up a little bit.